What is up, YouTube? Adama 16, just Josh or OJ, whatever you want to call me, is back again. I'm sorry. um, I didn't post a video last week like I said I would, simply because I was on fall break. Basically, that means for any of you out there not in college, I get spring break twice a year. So, and the only time I really have a good chance to record and mix and do everything I like to do with my videos, I need the recording room that we have at school. With the good with board, the good mixers, CD players, great speakers. If you haven't seen them, they're Kirk speakers, Rocket Fives apparently. Amazing things will put out a lot of sound. But anyway, I haven't been able to do that just simply because the school tries to coincide their fall break with the Cleveland County Fair, which is next door to the school. So they like to use the parking lot here for parking for the fair. You know, basically, just to save room, which understandable. I mean, I'll take a week off. I mean, I don't go to the fair. I'm not paying $8 for a hot dog. You can fuck you. You're crazy. Um, so I mean, I'll try to get 2 videos up this week, but don't hold your breath. I don't do all that much now. I do work. I do this, and I do a podcast, which hopefully should be up sometime either today or tomorrow, with Darth Flaw, which he just posted up a new video. He probably have another one up sometime this week, and our podcast should be going up. Anyway, basically, guys, I don't really have a topic for today, so I'm just gonna go over some of the games that I picked up and some of the music and movies I've you know purchased as well. I'll start off with last week, October 4th, was the launch of the Demon Souls sequel, Dark Souls. I have not played Demon Souls. I had not even heard of it until I was at GameStop one day and saw the pre-order thing for Dark Souls saying that if you paid it off before the game dropped, that they would give you a free upgrade to the collector's edition. I thought, if nothing else, I'll have some pretty cool stuff if I don't like the game. So so I mean, I'm really bad about that. Buying a game before I know if it's good or not. And I was pleasantly surprised. I really enjoyed Dark Souls. Not that huge into the RPG Fable style, boost your character D&D kind of thing. But I did enjoy myself, and I managed to take a 36-hour RPG and grind it down into 17 hours. I have finally beaten the game. The final boss was more annoying than difficult, at least for me. I managed to max out my character early on in the game. There's a few cheats like that. If you really enjoy the fantasy style RPGs, or if you were a fan of Demon Souls or Fable, one or the other, I do recommend picking up this game. It was definitely worth what I paid for it. I didn't get the collector's edition. I don't know why, because I did GameStop's thing where if you pay it off beforehand and you upgrade it. I mentioned that and they wouldn't give it to me. So fuck you, GameStop. I'm sure I'm not the only one that's ever said that. Anyway, and at the same time, when I put down my money for the original pre-order, I picked up a copy of a Japanese game called Catherine. It was at the recommendation of a friend. He recommended, it's a great game. If you have spare time, you're not playing anything else, pick it up. It's definitely worth it. I figure, well, if I like it, I'll come back. So I picked up a used copy. What the fuck, Japan? Really? Oh my god. Basically, this game centers around a guy named Vincent. He starts off having these strange, you know, solve the puzzle, climb the blocks kind of game. Starts off, not all that difficult. It's still a bitch if you play it on anything above normal, and even in normal for the first few levels, it gets confusing. But basically, he has these nightmares where he has to solve the challenges, and if he dies in the game, or not the game, excuse me, if he dies in the dream, then he dies in real life. So, kind of a Nightmare on Elm Street kind of thing, I suppose. I know they ripped it off from somewhere, but I can't place it at the moment. And so that's basically his every night. He goes through, you come to find out, 8 stages of this, and then one final boss level. And the whole time he's trying to pick between his quote-unquote fiancée, Catherine, who who may be pregnant. You know, she hints at it. I haven't really gotten to where in the game. I have not beaten this game yet. If you have, please don't ruin it for me. I'm having so much fun with it. She's hinting at she may be pregnant, but at the same time, at the beginning of the game, when the dreams first start, Vincent has a one night stand with a blonde haired girl who coincidentally is also named Catherine. Never once in this game does he tell blonde Catherine, "Hey, I have a possible fiance and I might be a father." He just kind of goes with it. That's probably my only gripe for the entire game is that Vincent is just such a massive tool. You think sometime during the 8 or 9 days where this game takes place, he could have looked at blonde-haired Catherine and said, "I like you. You're a great girl. I've had fun, but I'm kind of in this pretty serious relationship." I mean, anybody who knows my relationship record knows I'm not great at these in real life, so no good was ever going to come of me playing, a relationship in a game. That being said, I have had a lot of fun with this game. It's one of the most insanely difficult things I've ever had to do, and that's not even talking about the relationship part. These puzzle block challenges. Oh my god, what was Japan thinking? I mean, as far as difficulty goes, there's some of these that are so hard that when you're finished with them, you'll have to, put your controller down and just stare at the screen so your brain can finally connect what just happened. Like, I pulled this moment out a lot. There's a baby, to hint at, Vincent might be a father. That's scary enough for most guys to thinking about, oops, I accidentally parented. Anyway, back to the baby. That's scary enough. The fact that it's a giant baby with a chainsaw for an arm with arms screaming daddy at you is probably enough to, make most guys run and hide. The fact that the baby's chasing you, excuse me, I can't talk, this game has me so messed up, with its ass, the ass has a tongue and eyes and a pacifier that can change the level at any given time, just weirds me out. I mean, and I've played some pretty far out things like if you've ever played Dead Space 2, the babies in that game are nothing compared to this. I do not advise playing this game after midnight. If you are brave enough to attempt that, please play with the lights on. Save yourself the wet sheets, please. For me, even if you don't like me, for me. But more or less, there's 8 stages in the game, and then one final stage. And you go through, you answer a series of questions and play out the relationship. Turns out not only are there 8 stages, but there's 8 possible endings for this game based on the way you answer questions in the game. I love this game. I mean, I thought it would just be something, that would be recommended to me, like, usually happens, and it would be, yeah, it was fun, I enjoyed it, whatever, I'll probably trade it in when I'm finished. That's not happening with Catherine. I'm actually looking for the special edition version. If you know where you can get one, please hook me up. More or less, I love this game. It's by far one of the most fun things I've played this year. And the year's not even over yet. I still have, against all my better judgment, I'm probably gonna pick up Modern Warfare 3. I'm not a fan of first-person shooters, but this one just looks so gosh darn fun. And I've pre-ordered Batman Arkham City. If you haven't and you are a fan of Arkham Asylum, I do recommend picking that game up. Well, I've rambled on now for about 9.5 minutes just about games. As far as music goes, I've picked up an early copy of Five Finger Death Punch's new album due out on October 11th. As of the day of recording, I've picked it up 3 or 4 days early. Amazing album. I will probably do a full in-depth review of it later on, once the album comes out and I've been able, to mess around with it, because I have ordered the special edition like they always do. It always includes some bonus tracks and, some neat stuff. Probably do that and have that up for you. Hopefully that'll be out sometime this week. Not entirely sure when this one's, gonna go up or even what's gonna be behind it. If I can, I'll try to PVR some gameplay footage of Catherine in, just so you guys can see exactly what's going on. If nothing else, I'll probably rip some from YouTube or something. Always get permission before you do that, just so prevents a headache. Uh, Also, if you're a fan, Lacuna Coil dropped their first single off Dark Adrenaline, "Trip the Darkness." Everything was fine. It was a great song up until Christina started singing the chorus. That's the only thing I have to say. It sounds to me like she's trying to sing too long and too high an octave for her. Don't get me wrong, Christina Scabia has an amazing vocal range, an amazing voice. I need new pants every time I see her, but that says more about me than her. Just an amazing, amazing singer. I love her and all of Lacuna Coil. Actually, people give Christina all the credit, but she would be nothing without the band. Andrea has some great vocals as well, but I'm just not impressed with this song so far. I mean, I'll probably end up changing my mind later on, but who knows? It's me. I have the brain of a schizophrenic, so I'll probably bounce around. I mean, if you know me, I know a few of my friends do listen to these videos. I listen to heavy metal, black metal, death metal, grindcore, really heavy stuff. So to switch over to something like goth rock, like Lacuna or even Stranger, I picked up a copy of Scary Monsters from Skrillex, which, I mean, $5 for a copy of an album that was actually pretty good. And I'm not a fan of dubstep. Outside of Scary Monsters and a few tracks that Deadmau5 does, I'll just pass on it as a whole genre. Nothing bad against it. It does take talent, and you do have to be a musician, have a good rhythm, all that. To do it, it's just not for me. But Scary Monsters is one of those things that I picked up last Monday, and it has yet to leave my CD player. It also helped me scar my 3-year-old cousin, which, always fun. If you don't have enough emotional scars, you won't turn out right. Well, guys, I'm running a bit long, since I am, just starting off with this. Technically, YouTube kind of restricts my, how long my videos can be. So I'm going to wrap it up here. I'll probably do a video later on, if for anybody out there who's a UFC fan. If you caught UFC 136, I'll be doing a full in-depth review of the fights, from the Facebook fights to the prelims to the main card. That'll probably come a bit later this week. Mixed martial arts and music are probably the only two topics I could probably talk on for hours. Anyway, that'll about do it for me. If you have any topics you would want to hear me talk about, or if anything you're just tired of hearing me talk about, I know I'm only 3 videos in, but I know sometimes I'll get caught up on one thing in particular. Well, guys, that'll about do it for me. This has been Ojama 16, just Josh or OJ, whatever you want to call me. And I'll see you guys